Nicole is saying you are a live wire. So if you've gotten a bunch of notifications or you tried to get on earlier and it didn't work out, I'm so sorry. We are really trying our darndest to figure this thing out and get a handle on it, and we will. So thank you for bearing patience with us as we get things sorted out. And let me just get moving and grooving tonight with this reading. So first of all, I am starting with the Oracle of E. Okay, the Oracle of E in regards to what is going on. We've just come off of, 11/11 was a week ago, and then we had the full moon on Friday night. So for those of you who participated in the 11/11 activation and the ritual that I did for the full moon, things were extremely intense. The light codes that were activated last Monday, as well as the full moon ritual, was pretty hectic. When I say hectic, I mean it took a minute to get things done, and when I say a minute, I mean quite a few hours. So this is, sorry, just 1 second here. I'm not sure. I think my team is in. I guess you guys are in. Okay, so we've got one of you in here. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right, so you guys are here. Cool. I gather one of you cannot chat. Just a little bit of housekeeping real quick. I guess one of you cannot chat. Is that right? You could tell me back in the private chat because I can see that. Oh, you can. Okay, cool. So we're all good to go. Everybody's in. Everybody can talk. Everybody can chat whenever they're ready. So let me focus now into this zone. So this is live wire energy. What I was saying is the ritual. It was very intense. It took quite some time to get things going. There's a lot of clearing, and coming off the heels of everything going on for us, south of the border, and all of the changes, and again, the full moon, and we had this big fight going on with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, and you might be wondering, like, well, what does that have to do with spirituality, or what does that have to do with things that are going on, with my spiritual growth? Well, everything is energy, guys, and so everything that takes place in this atmosphere, in this galaxy, in this planet, in this earth, in this universe, it impacts you. It impacts everything. So there was a lot that was really going on. If you've noticed this, like the skies even, it's just really, really intense this last few weeks. So when they're talking about this live wire here, that you are, like saying that you're a live wire, it's like you're within you is a powerful elixir that can change the world, both your world and the one around you. Okay, and they say scientists call this elixir emotions, but you can think of it as supercharged current capable of taking you anywhere you want to go. You can use your emotion to suffer or to skyrocket to fame, and it's up to you. So really and truly right now you are a live wire. And I'm going to tell you personally, I am suffering. I guess this is what I'm choosing, but my nerve endings feel like they're just open, like my wires are exposed right now. And I'm moving through that because I know that what's happening right now is, with Pluto changing and things that are changing with the other planets right now, we are in a space where most of you from a 3D, you're either going to move into 4D, okay? And this is not a judgment thing or it's just where things are at. So you're probably going to go 4D and maybe not right to 5D. You're getting little shocks in your body. Okay. So this is what is happening because, sorry, it's getting hot, is that you are going to find that you're being activated. So the little shocks, because, you were part of the ritual. So for those of you who might have been a part of the ritual and the light code activation, this may be happening for you, mentioning that I thought the full moon was going to be like horrible. Well, it was intense, but for those of you who have been participating in these rituals on a regular basis, that's part of what that does, is it helps to ease you into those things and take care of things for you and around you and within you and beside you and all, you know, all of that, so that you can do what you need to do and kind of keep that away from y'all. So what's happening too is that some of you, if you're not ready, and that there is, again, it's not a judgment thing, it's not a, oh, you're better than, less than, it has nothing to do with that. You're ready when you're ready. But with that 1111 portal, it's like the creation of that new world, the ability for people to be in the new world is, it's really there. Okay, it's like it's easily there. And there are people that through this last opening of the portal are really doing their, on the tail end of their 3D stuff. So like for myself, I have very little connection to the 3D, very little. And as a result, I find it extremely exhausting to interact in the 3D realm and do all the stuff. And I'm just like, if I could come home and probably like just put all my stuff outside. I was away for a few days and just like let so much stuff go, because I'm like, I have no use for this. I don't, there's those versions of me that had use for this no longer exist. Okay, so you may find that coming up, that live wire, you may feel very like exposed, like an exposed wire, because you're very charged right now. Again, those you know, guys, when I do rituals, those of you who participate by signing up, you get a different extent of the ritual, the energies, because I work those for you specifically the way that you've invited me to do. But I still do stuff for everybody who's in the collective. So everybody can be experiencing feeling supercharged. If you are in or out of alignment, it can impact how that live wire reacts. So if you're out of alignment, you may feel it a very intense type of like shock or overwhelm, or like a shock to your system about things, or feeling things coming very intensely at you in a negative way, because that's where things are at, right? So we have to look at that. We have to really pay attention to that right now. And I'll tell you, like, I'm trying to come on here to do these lives, and sometimes the if you were here with me and my team about 20 minutes ago, I'm just here in tears, just like, because I'm literally in spiritual warfare every day, just coming through these heavy dark energies that are trying to keep the light down. And it's tough. Like my hands of Hamsa behind me, if you could see this, it just like out of nowhere just fell over. Okay, and these things are this is the stuff that tells me that it's a tough time. So you might, like, it feels almost like you're walking through quicksand. And I know that I'm being held. I'm trying, like, the energies are trying to hold me down from doing the work, from helping. But I'm doing my best, everything that I can, to stay above water and keep going. But for those of you who are experiencing things, that's why I wanted to make sure I came on. Whether the thing is working or not working, I'm like, I have to get on here because I need you guys to know what's going on, so you know how to govern yourself and that you don't get like too stressed out with it. Okay, all right, so let's continue on asking the pool, like, what can we do to help the collective? What guidance can you offer? What do they need to know? This is, and I don't want to like make this sound like depressing heavy. It's intense, but it's also a really super exciting time, because at the end of the day, look, bunny hop jive, it's time to like jump for joy, because it's like there's a lot of good stuff going on. And okay, there's two reasons for bunny hop jive. It's because they're also telling me, I know some of you guys follow me on Instagram, you might have seen about a week or so ago, I went to a trampoline park, and it's the jumping. So on a physical level, jumping is going to help you with this live wire stuff. And I know it might sound crazy, but the jumping allows the electrical connections that go on, the electricity and the energy through your body, to kind of reset every time your feet leave the ground and you go up and come down. Okay, so if you can jump, if you're able-bodied enough to jump off the ground, then I would suggest you do that. But if not, then just even like flat-footed, just even lifting your heels off, or just sitting down and like lifting your feet up and bring them down, it will help, because there's a I don't know how to say it, but it's like it's helping the connectors. Like when you do that jumping, it almost gives things enough space or enough of a gap from what's going on to be able to like. They're showing me like spark plugs, like when you would boost a car engine, something like that. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, so what are they saying here? It's basically what's happening right now, because they're talking about in the book, they're in the guidebook around like two friends or whatever. But really, what this is it's like right now we're somewhat disconnected because we're having to disconnect from a lot of 3D stuff and move. You're either moving closer towards the 4D or even, you know, starting to entertain being in 5D or bringing a little bit more of that there, but definitely on your way out of the 3D, just not being able to function there anymore. But it's about merging your body where your spirit is. And so you may be finding that you're like either, you know, dragging your butt because you're so tired, but that's because your body has not caught up to where your spirit has evolved to, where your spirit is. And also, sorry, it could be that your it's like my brain can't catch up. If you move forward, also it's like you're going forward so fast, but it could also be that you have too much energy because the new stuff can't function in the body that you have. Okay, hopefully that made sense and I got it out. I'm so fried right now. Sorry, I'm gonna do my best to get this out. Okay, so here we go, because we've got a few here. Okay, so we've got this I got your back card in reverse, and what I'm getting around that is that your ego is going to try to convince you that it's got your back, right? Like that it's going to tell you like, I got your back, just come back to me, just do what we've been doing, like come back to our old self, don't worry about this. And like it's too hard, just rest or just give in. And it's like you're being advised by the Cole that, you know, it's up to you, but because this is what they say, you can spit in the face of fear, flip off those who bar the door, shake your fist to any who dare say no, because you, sweet thing, are divinely protected by the Dude Most High, always and forever, amen. So it's like saying your higher self is really trying to say to you, I've got your back. But your ego is also at this point in time, and that's why we're having this like huge disconnect, because the ego wants to protect you by keeping you limited, small, and safe and not like growing, whereas your higher self wants to free you and have you be able to access everything that you desire and all those things that you want to experience. Okay, so then we get this sticky wicket card in reverse. Okay, proceed with caution. It's a delicate situation, but that doesn't mean there's any real danger. Just a reminder that it's time to pause, reflect, to appreciate all you have now and all you're about to receive. So they're telling you, like, this is not a time to not move. This is a time you don't want to get stuck. You don't want to avoid what might seem like it's sticky or difficult or uncomfortable right now. Keep moving, because proceed with caution, keep your eyes open, but it is not a time to stop, because the danger is going to come from like the unknown, the things that you have to do. You're going to feel like that's dangerous. It's all the things that you've been afraid of. I have a video, and I'll probably post it tomorrow, of this slide that I had, like I was going on when I went to the trampoline park. And I'm telling you, I had to talk myself through it for like a minute and a half, right? So just know that I was up there saying like, oh my God, what if this happens? What if this goes wrong? What if I hurt myself? And the other part of me was like, but what if you don't? And what if it's so fun and you miss out on it because you were too scared? And I had to choose which one of those I let myself listen to, okay? So we have this nasty knot card in reverse as well, which is saying, despite how it looks, you can now slip easily out of your current encasement. It only looks like quicksand. So there's that word I was saying, right? quicksand in reality. Getting free is a piece of angel food cake. Leave the drama behind. This is what's happening. Your higher self is telling you, come this way and freeing you. You think that if it's freeing you, it's just going to be like, it is going to be easy, but you have to understand that easy is, it might not, you might not perceive it as easy, but you just don't realize how hard what you're doing is right now. Okay, you don't realize how damaging, because you're just so used to it. So for instance, like I don't know what's happening with my, let me just take this off. I was away for a bit, and it took me about like 3 days to just, like, my body was in agony, but it was because I stopped moving and I was able to feel and experience what I was really going through. And so that might seem harder, but that's the only way you're going to be able to have the awareness to make the decisions and the choices and choose the directions that you need to go in. Okay, so I hope that that makes sense so far. Alrighty, yeah. Okay, we got this Bazinga card and then the jackpot. Okay, so let me ask them to explain that for you. What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay, so this says, this one here comes with this message. Well, don't you got it going on. Now's the time to reveal in the sweet taste to revel in the sweet taste of fantabulous you. You hit your mark. Go on. Take a victory lap. Pop a cork. Let's get this party started. Celebrants are lining up at the door. And then the jackpot card that says, do you see dollar signs? They are circling around you like a veritable cyclone. Everything in your aura is pointing to material gain. Do you want to manifest a new house, more love, a better job, a new life, maybe a bigger pocketbook, right? So basically what's happening is, I picked that up as like the future. That's what's there for you. That's what's happening. You have everything that you need, and it's going to come, but we have to get through this time. We have to get through the rest of this cycle, the rest of this calendar year, etc. That's what's happening where that is concerned. Okay, so I hope that makes sense so far. All right, moving on into the Oracle of 7 Energies. Asking for the cool to come through with guidance through the Oracle of the 7 Energies for the highest and happiest good of this collective, please. Yeah, okay. Oh boy. This is like a whole reading that just flew right out. Okay, let me ask them which direction are we going? This way or that way? Okay. All right. So here we go. So first in reverse, the land between, okay? So what I'm seeing right now is we're really not, and there's our bridges again. Can you guys see them? Bridges, right? So it's almost like you got to go high right now. Now is not the time to go low. If you go low to get across that gap, you could do it. You can do it, but it's not going to be as easy as if you go high. Okay, so the distance in the gap between the frequencies will be a lot easier if you go up higher. If you go low, you're taking a chance. You might make it, you might not. I don't know. But really and truly, it's like, take the bridge, take the easy way, just go up is what I hear. And because what has to happen, they're saying, is you got to let go of the fear in making that jump, okay? You've got to let go of the fear. And how that's going to take place is through healing your heart. So there's more to do. You know, and when we say let it go and making that jump, like that's what I was talking about, the jumping that they were talking about, the bunny hop, the jump, whatever they were saying, that's what that's about. Because you're going to be traveling over some uncharted seas right now. You have to. You want something you never had before. You want to be or do or have something you've never been or had or done before. You're going to have to be or do or have something else within you. You have to move into that. So it is going to be uncharted seas. It is going to be something new. And, you know, you got to get in perfect harmony first, which means you have to get in alignment with that new thing in order to get to the grand symphony, right? Which is basically back to the bazinga, back to the jackpot. So it's kind of confirming what has to happen here. We have to go through this land between. It's uncomfortable right now. This little gap that we have. It's uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. For some of you, you might feel great, but I would say And I'm not saying you have to feel bad, but ensure that you're allowing yourself to really experience everything that's coming at you, because the heart needs to be healed. And if you get in a space where you're not allowing yourself to let go of all that stuff, then it doesn't, like, it's not like, oh, it'll not come to you. It just means that you'll go through another few cycles before you get there. Okay. All right. What else do they have for you? It's a lot of cards that came out. I'm going to see if we can get a little bit of clarity. Can you please just, okay, thank you. Yeah, because, you know, for the fruit tree, that's the bearing fruit card. For the fruit to bear, the tree, you plant the seeds, the tree has to grow. Then it has to start to, you know, the fruit takes time to bear. It has to go through the conditions when it gets there. And right now, they're also bringing up this bearing fruit card because we're getting to that time of year where we are planting seeds for our spring equinox, where things are going to come to fruition for you. And so it's important that you look at, you know, what you want to plant for that time frame as well. So we've got the Feeling the World card. I just want to see what they have to say about that. Feeling the world. So sensitivity to the feelings of others, awareness of the whole world, and a broader perception, empathy, overload, and overwhelm. That's what I was saying, is that you have to understand that everything, you know, I keep saying, obviously it's my tagline, everything is energy, but everything around us going on, feeling the world. So some of you might be experiencing things that have nothing to do with you, but because you're part of the world, it has everything to do with you, because we are everything and everything is us, okay? So understanding that, but also recognizing that you can use that to your advantage, because if you are missing something in your life, you can feel it. You can begin to feel it through somebody else who is experiencing it right now, and tap into that. Like, recognize that is both, you know, it has its pros and cons to it. So being able to feel the world that way. So we got the Time Machine card here. I want to know what they have to say about that. Inherited patterns, conditioning, lessons already learned, cellular memory, honoring the past without being trapped there. Okay, so the Time Machine card is referencing that part of what has to go on for you as well is many of you are clearing ancestral cycles, okay? You're clearing up old ancestral patterns, habits, karma as well. And you might sit there and go, well, why do I have to be the one to clean up the ancestral karma? Because you can. Because you're the one that you came here. If you're clearing up ancestral karma, it's because you were sitting in class when they're like, who thinks they can clear up ancestral karma? And you were like, me, I can do it. And that's what you came here to do. So not to be cold and callous, but suck it up, buttercup, if it's not fun for you, because you came here for this. What you came here to do, you know, like there's that song, baby, this is what you came for, right? That's what you came for. So now is not the time to shy away or complain about it. Sorry, but this is what you're here to do. And if you're here to do it, it's because you're capable of doing it, okay? So the storyteller card is here. Be aware of the story that you're telling, okay? Because that's what's, you can see the key and the feather there. So the key is to the story that you're telling. It's like, that's the inkwell there. What are you writing? Because the story you're telling is the one you're seeing. And if you're telling yourself like, well, F me, why do I have to be the one to clear ancestral karma, versus telling the story of like, I knew I came here to do this. I've got this. It does suck at times. It is challenging at times. It is uncomfortable at times, but I know I can do this, okay? So coming from there, we get the Call of the Muse. Let me see what they want to say about that. So creative expression, being in the flow of creativity, tuning into inspiration, allowing creativity without being self-conscious, writing and journaling as a means of connection. When you feel the call of the muse, you're being invited to create, to the artist choreographing your life, serving on behalf of the great artist divine source. While the process feels intensely personal, your ego and self-identification are ironically the most unnecessary parts of the equation. So while you may think that you own the magic of your creativity, can you truly say that you're the source of the inspiration? Okay, so similar to another card that's from this deck, the Genius card, imagine your creativity stemming from another spirit guide, the Muse. Just as the genius needs to partner with your intellect, so too does the muse need you to open your heart and let magic flow through your intuition and emotions. So stop seeing yourself as the center of the process and instead see yourself as a partner in a creative dance. Sometimes you might be inside the music and feelings, the story and its expressions. Other times you may observe from the sidelines, watching it all unfold and flow from an unknown yet deeply intimate source. So today, your muse is calling you to be a channel and allow the creative energy to flow through you. The energy of emotion is waiting to be given a voice, a name, a shape, or a color. So journal, finish that writing project, start something new, paint, sing, dance, and don't worry where any of it lands. It has its own plans for you. Your muse knows where it's all meant to go. For you, the big magic is experiencing the answering of the call. So this isn't about you guys. Like, I know it's sometimes I'm like, oh, this sounds so maybe condescending, or it sounds like so depressing. I don't know, but it's like we're not here to be identified as whatever your name is and whatever your attributes are. That it really means nothing, guys. It really means zero. Okay, you're here. This thing, the body is a vehicle for your soul and for universal energies to be able to flow through you. So it doesn't really matter about being gifted or gifts. Like, these are words that we use, but even that, I'm like, who cares, right? Like, it's what you can do. And what you can do comes from how much you open yourself up to allow the flow and have the faith of that. So it's about recognizing, like, the more you get attached to and want to identify with, or you want to like have credit for or whatever, like, it slows you down. And it's funny because we don't get that, because some people in this world and the way that we watch. So I'm not going to use names, but there is an artist or a singer or whatever you want to call them moving around the world, okay, causing a ruckus because a lot of little girls are not getting tickets, and causing traffic jams in cities and things like that when they come in, that really and truly is taking away from thousands, hundreds of thousands of people's creativity, because what they are doing is they're tapping in and almost like worshiping the creativity of said person. And we don't look at it this way. And I'm not trying to be jaded or negative or any of that. I'm trying to be real with you guys, okay? So all of these so-called artists and movies and whatever, if you really take the veil away and you go back to like the Wizard of Oz, and the wizard was just the smoke and mirrors behind the screen there, that's really what most of this is. And it can come through in a very wholesome and angelic and go girl power type of image, or it can come in some sort of thug gangsta energy, or it can come through like when it's about the person, when it's about the outfits and the merch and all of this kind of stuff. Smoke and mirrors, guys. Okay, I dare you to go to an opera or a classical music or an orchestral concert and tell me where they're having wardrobe changes and dancers and all of that, unless it's the ballet, really and truly. But you tell me where actual music, okay, like actual music that is being played by the flowing through the human hands, where it goes like that, where tickets are costing that kind of money, like really and truly. Okay, so you have to look at what's going on here, you know, and recognize where your creativity is being stifled, because so many people went to said concerts, and what did they do? They dressed like this person. They wore all the outfits and did their makeup and their hair, and it was like, these artists are really just creativity killers. And most of the people are walking around just like being little culty worshippers. Like that's, I know, I always feel like, oh, I shouldn't say this, but it's what it is. I'm just telling you, okay? It's a lot of cards. This is really not as much messaging as I anticipated for tonight, but let's go. Yeah, because it's the power of purpose. It's stifling the power of your own purpose. It's hiding. It's masking. So much of what goes on in the world today is masking the power of your own purpose, and people are not being able to find them. They're not being able to be great and be fulfilled. They're not being able to be in the greatness of their own selves, and they're not being able to be fulfilled because they're not full of themselves. It's like full of your true self, not full of the fake self, right? Because look at this, in reverse, into me I see. You're not seeing into yourself. You're seeing the reflections of whoever is selling to you and performing for you and advertising to you that they want you to see, okay? So that's where that's coming. We need some close encounters here. You need to get close to you. You need some close encounters with yourself because you're not taking that deep breath. In reverse, you're not taking that deep breath to really get that life in you. It's shallow. Shallow. That's what they're telling me. We're living these shallow existences rather than like fully breathing in and inhaling and exhaling life. Okay? All right. That's where that's going to end. And then there's one more deck. I gotta tell you, my hands are really hurting, but I'm gonna get this done. I'm not gonna stay on for too much longer because I can't. I just can't. The Goddess of Power Oracle, asking for the Cool to come through with messages from the Goddess of Power Oracle for the highest and happiest good of the people of Energicity for this collective, please. Just a few final messages. Independence, guys. Look at that. Independence. You got to do it on your own. You got to be it on your own. You got to be you. You need to be independent of yourself. You need to independently be you. Like, it's just, that's what it is. That's what you came here to be. You didn't come here to be a mimic or a copycat of someone else. So focus, okay, the focus card comes up. Yeah. So the focus is being taken off of your potential. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. The focus is being taken off your own potential by these people that don't really want you to be independent, that don't want you to, really like get into the light of your own moon. They want to keep you in the darkness, not in the moonlight. And the alliance, you need to have that alliance with the universe, your higher self, source energy, all of the factors out there, all of the energies that can help you. That's who you want to be in alliance with. Like, it's really time to be very discerning right now. Very discerning, okay? Yep. Because it's that transformation. And look at, we've got assurances being given to you. Like, it's okay to transform and be yourself. In fact, it's really where we get that card again, where it's the purpose, power of your purpose. That's what you're here for. Okay? So funny. Can I stop? And they're like, no, you can't. Because without that healing, okay, healing card in reverse, without that healing, you're not going to hit that mastery. Okay, Swarsati, the goddess of learning. You're not going to learn how to be. Without that healing, you won't learn how to be you. I know what I'm going through in my body right now. It's my own healing. It's the undoing. It's the, stripping down the wires, basically. I'm doing a rewiring right now. And it does feel very painful and it does feel very exposed, but that's how it goes, okay? So here we go. Like, that's what I said. See, you're not getting that wisdom that is being offered to you, being brought to you, which is, it's really because your communication, right, in reverse, communication card is not there with yourself, with your higher self, and the earth card in reverse, it's like it's not allowing you to be grounded. Like, so I'm not an electrician, but I know like the wires have to be grounded. So otherwise it's no bueno. Okay. Okay, that's that. And just because they left the shaman's dream is left on my desk. And I always know when it's left on my desk, I get it. At least something's coming from this. So asking Nicole, final messages. Please let us be the final messages from the shaman's dream oracle for the highest and happiest good of the people of Energy City, please. What have you got? What have you got for them? Come on. What do you got here? Okay, grace and generosity in reverse, curiosity in reverse, and movement towards adventure. Okay, so what they're telling me is that we're lacking that grace and generosity. We're lacking that ability to have that gracefulness, that generosity with ourselves and others. We're lacking that curiosity to gain that knowledge, to get into that space, to learn. And we're lacking that movement towards adventure. We're not seeing our power of our purpose as something fun. We're looking at it as like, get her done. Like, I just need to do this, and I got to put up with this, and I got to tolerate that, and so I can get to the thing. No, this is where you want to be. This is the stuff that you came here to go through. Yeah. So again, here's that word again. Because look at preparations come to fruition. It's coming. This is the netcaster. You're just gonna come in and closing door. We're in a completion phase. We're very close to that next phase, to that next level. Whatever it is, it's coming for you. So stick to it and stick it out through the hard stuff. I get it. I'm experiencing it too. But yeah, be that drifter. Experience life as it comes. Let it come forward. Radical acceptance. You know, if you're old enough to know the first line, you take the good, you take the bad, right? From the facts of life. Like, that's what we need to do right now, is take it all, no matter how it seems, and recognize that it's all good for us. Accept that, okay? Yeah, and I'm going to wrap this up. So, final message here. Yeah. So, it's a time for you to understand. It's kind of how this reading started, is refusal of the call, the dream thief. You will be the one stealing your own dreams if you refuse the call, because the call is here right now. And I know you might think and hope and want that person calling, thinking they're going to sound sweet as pie when they call you up and be like, hi, I'm calling with your dreams here for you. Would you like to have your dreams? And it's like, no, sometimes it doesn't sound like that. Sometimes like, hi, I'm calling with your dreams. And you're like, whoa, that's not dreamy at all. I'm not interested in that. But sometimes that's what we have to go through, because it's the distortion, because sometimes that sweet little voice is masked for something that sounds like the thing that I did the second time around. And that rough, scary voice is distorted because we're in a vibration where we can't hear it. So understanding the call that you're getting, it's really important that you stick with the discernment right now and have that awareness, because that's what I'm picking up, is that there's a lot of distortion that is taking place into how we're seeing things, how we're hearing things, how we're experiencing and feeling things. Okay, seriously, like last cards. Yeah. So we've got the crossing. Okay, again, bridges, the initiation. It's another time, an empty well. It's time to replenish. It's like we want the empty well, because you want to have dumped it all out and replenish it, but with something else. You don't want to keep putting in the same thing over and over again, or else you're going to just end up with another well full of the same old shit that you just spent all this time trying to get rid of. Okay? All right. I'm done. I'm done, guys. I'm done. So again, for those of you who participated in the 11/11 and the full moon ritual, pay attention or look out tomorrow for some videos that will come through, or a video that will come through, and I'll be explaining to you all that happened. I actually didn't close the ritual off until today, because that was what was necessary energetically. So I will go ahead and do so. I used up the full energies of the full moon, even though, you know, it was Friday, the energies were still there after the fact. So we use the full extent of those energies for that ritual. So pay attention for that tomorrow. I'm going to be sending some emails out, or and probably to like help you guys get in the community, get through the app. Things are still a little bit rocky. I can totally fess up to that. Asking you guys to bear with me. You know, at the end of the day, I'm doing everything I can to make things as easy and favorable for you guys and beneficial to you. So hopefully you will be patient while we're going through that. And I will be reaching out to you guys to see if you do want into the community and to take advantage of the free period that's going to go up until 1/11/2025. And for those of you who are, you know, I know that many of you are in there and working on the course, and there's lots of life things happening. So I'm going to touch base. As long as you tell me you're in, and we'll keep you going. For those of you who are like, yeah, this isn't for me, we're going to start clearing out people's access that way, because just to keep the energies alive and thriving of who's in and wants to be in, we'll keep moving those people forward. And people that have come in and found out it's not for them, thank you. Right? So, all right, leaving it there. I hope you guys have an incredible evening or day whenever you're watching this. And again, thanks for bearing with us while we work through some of these growing pains. And I'll see you guys on the next one, okay? So in the meantime and in between time, remember, everything is energy. So be the energy you wish to see. Lights up, Empress out. My deepest, pure love and appreciation for you guys. Love you guys. Have a great night. Good night. And I never know how to